Alrighty guys, well we're here in the shop. There it is, you can see her all. Sun's shining bright, that's for sure. But I'll reverse you here. Alrighty, there it is. You see this hose right here? She's about 32 inches long. And that hose goes on the bale processor or bale shredder for the rocking table. It goes across, goes from here across to right there. That's how it goes on there. And yeah, I can fix that sucker today. My hydraulic block a little bit is leaking up here. We've got just tiny leaks from the controller here all the way through, and I really ain't worried about them. They're so minute. All they do though, the one thing that is bad about them, it's always a little bit oily, smeary. So this control valve in here, there's probably a couple of O-rings right in there. You can see that's out. So then when it pushes in for the trip, like that, every time it goes back and forth, a little drip of oil will come out of there. So anyways, and that trip just activates the oil to shift it, the pressure to the other side. And that's how it rocks back and forth. But anyways, with all of that, because it drips just a little bit, eventually everything gets smeared with friggin' an oily film, and all the dust and chaff sticks to it bad. So, like I said, I'm not really all that worried about it. But that one hose was leaking pretty bad, and we had to fix it up. And Mazer Group is not open today. Now I could go to Princess Auto in Regina and get a hose fixed up here today, but my oxygen bottle for our torch is empty and my gas supplier is closed today. So since I'm not hauling on Monday, that load got canceled until further notice. I figure Monday morning I'll take the oxygen bottle in and get it filled, and that's when I'll get this hose fixed. So I really don't have to bed down Corral 2 or anything like that. So if I get it fixed up Monday morning, I could do all that bed down in the afternoon. McCormick is percolating. I got to do not much for feeding here this morning, but it's like one bucket load into that one corral with them new cows. So we gotta get them fed up. And until I decide to start rocking with that feeding stuff, I'm gonna mark some lines out on these vertical up and down on there, the 4 foots and the 5 foots. And that's just marking all my 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll leave you guys here with this for right now, and I'll bring you back a little later. Alrighty guys, well, I just got done dumping a bucket load into this bunk and kind of overfilled it a little bit. Hey girls. So, see that little tiny pile right there? Well, that was me. I spilt that. But look at the waste. Like, these cows have had this for a week, just over a week now. Look at the waste on the ground. How much waste is on the ground here, guys? Outside of what I spilt on the ground, there's like next to zero. And this is why I like the cut feed from me tub grinding. A little tiny bit that I spilt on the ground, but this is nothing, right? You can still see the bottom skids down there. Right down there at the very bottom of that 2x6 edge, that's the bottom steel. Now, had this been a round bale feeder, or had I been putting feed in here from a bale processor, I guarantee you wouldn't see that bottom steel. Not like that. So, because they would just pull it out so much more. But with this cut feed, they don't pull it out. And the waste is next to nothing. Like I estimate it to be somewhere between 3 and 5% waste is all that we're dealing with here, which is pretty god darn good. Hey babe, you want me to push this? I was just gonna fill it with straw when we bed.
No, push it some.
I don't think I'll be able to, it'll be too frozen.
Try.
See right here where the white dog is? Right where the white dog was there, that's where the round bale used to sit, and you could see a bit of a hump in the ground from all the waste that occurred over the past little bit that the round bale feeder was there. Okay, I'll give it a try. I'll let you guys go, we'll bring it back later. Alrighty, well, we threw roughly half a bale out there for them girls. They're all eating still. The other half bale, we just forked it around in the shelter in what we call Corral 2, which there's nothing in. And now we'll head out. You got a bunch of eggs? Pardon?
No.
No? No eggs?
Not yet.
Too early in the day?
Yeah.
Anyway, like I was saying, now we're gonna head out and see how empty them feed bunks were. I didn't fill them super full because when I moved them, there was still feed in a couple of them, and I wanted them cows to kind of clean that stuff up. And so we'll just go out and check on the new feed site, bed site, later. Alrighty, well, CP was hungry, so she went for a sandwich. She didn't have a big enough breakfast, and then she says, I want to go to the bush and feed the deer. So I threw a couple of square bales in here, and when she's done eating her sandwich or whatever, we'll run out to the bush. Also, I gotta grab a couple of wrenches because her cloth blind, the wind back in the fall, all that big wind that we were getting kind of buggered it up, so we need to take it down and bring it home. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing here shortly until she's done her sandwich or whatever. I'm gonna go play in the shop. Sounds like a good day to do that. Don't need no heat or nothing going, so that's what I'll go do. Later. Chickadee. We're out here in the bush. And chickadees chirping. There's lots of tracks out here. Look at this. But everything I'm seeing so far is all coyote and moose. Or deer and moose, I mean, not coyote. And there's a bed down right there. And there's another one right there. And another one right here. Right here is a bed down. See all the little black spots in the snow? That's all deer droppings. Now I'll bring you guys closer to where we generally feed them, and there's another pile of stuff right there. But there's tracks all through the bush out here. When we were coming out, we saw a big old bull moose. Probably would have measured from tip to tip about 30 inches. Not a real big guy, but good enough size. He ended up going north. As we get closer to where the tractor is out there, you get to see a lot more droppings. Another spot. Another bed down. But we generally feed them on and off all winter long out here. And the snow is out and there's not much for, excuse me, except for twigs and branches and brush for them to chew on. We'll bring them a little bit of green stuff every now and again, just to help the population out. At least in our eyes, we think we're helping them out. Well, there's lots of tracks around here. We got a salt block out here for them. And you can see the... Back it up. Right there. Right there's the salt. So... And you can see how deep the snow is out here. It's about 12 inches deep. So, but there's all kinds of tracks, that's for sure. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. Alrighty guys, well, went and got the wife's cloth hunting blind. And here it is, this sumbitch. So, I don't know if you guys remember when Tristan and I set this up out in the bush for her. We have like a round bale feeder that I put flipped upside down, and I put some cross members on the bottom side, mounted plywood, and then we actually, those tabs down there, we actually bolt it right into the friggin' 3/4 inch plywood there for a floor. That way it's up about 5 feet off the ground. Anyway, we had it closed up 100%. Well, when we went to get it, all of these windows were wide open. The zipper was all the way up, the way you see it right here. That was all the way up. There's ice and snow all over it. That's why it's set up out here. Hopefully some of this friggin' ice will melt out a little bit more for us, so we can hopefully try and save this sucker, because right now it ain't looking too good, that's for sure. But yeah, see the ice right here? Trying to melt some of this ice out of it. Might actually have to bring it into the house to melt it out that really good, but so that we can save it. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting whether we save this sucker or not, that's for sure. I know she would like to save it, but whether we can or not is gonna be a different story. Especially with all this. Yeah, we should be able to. That ice will break up and fall out of there, I thinking. Don't have to necessarily have the little cloth, camouflage cloth piece like this piece right here, but it's nice to have something like that, right? But that's why it's out here. There is a little tear in the roof on it now, right up here. You can see that little tear up there, but we're guessing somebody was in it. Somebody saw it out in the bush and was sitting in it over the hunting season and opened up all the friggin' windows and left the zipper, the doorway for it wide open. So, anyways, just thought I'd show that to you. I'm gonna head for the shop and put this thing away and do some fabbing in the shop. We'll talk to you guys later. Alrighty, well, came to the shop, did a little bit of fabbing and welding, and built another one. It only took, I don't know, a couple hours really. I don't even think it took a couple hours. Didn't take very long. I don't even know what time it is. I know I left the house when I was showing you guys that hunting blind of the wife's of CP's. It was 4 o'clock or just after 4 o'clock. And right now I'd say it's about, I'm guessing, 5:30. So I'm guessing that's what time it is. So now we're gonna head over to the barn and we'll check on things there, push some feed up for the bully woolies, and see what's happening. There we go, all pushed up and a little bit of grain on top. The grain really gets them eating again, but they really work at trying to sort the grain off of that cut feed. Some of it they'll get sorted off, some of it they can't. It gets worked right in just from them moving it around with their noses. See how that cow's doing it? So anyways, I'll let you guys go with this. Give us the old thumbs up, comment, subscribe, tell your friends and neighbors, and don't forget, guys, we've got when we hit 500, we've got a draw coming up, and we're gonna give you all the details when that time comes. And when we hit 500 subs, I'm talking, and we'll give you guys all the details at that time, how the draw's gonna work, and then we're gonna give you a little bit of time to try and pick the answers. And we'll give you all the questions at that time. So we're about 130 subscribers away from 500 yet. So tell your friends and neighbors to get on board, and everybody gets a chance at winning. We've got a small giveaway, and that's what we're doing. Anyways, time to go. Here comes CP. She's gonna come check on me. How's your sexy chickens?
Sexy.
They're sexy. I can't see how a chicken can possibly be sexy, but anyways.
Because they're just that awesome.
Okay, to
They're
me,
feeding you.
a chicken is a chicken. It gives me eggs. And if I take their feathers off, or better yet, if you take their feathers off, it gives me chicken legs. There's only one problem. I want the rear legs, not the front ones. Okay, guys, I'm gonna let y'all go. CP and I are gonna sign off. And like I said before, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Talk to you then. Fun, fun, fun. Let's get her done.